So Ratchet and Clank is one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. It was in my top 5 list for favorite video game franchises. One of the things the series is known for is its weapons. And so today, I want to count down my top 5 favorite Ratchet and Clank weapons.
Number 5.
I'm going to start this list off simple, but don't worry, it won't stay that way. The Omni Wrench. Ratchet's trusty oversized wrench, which can be used in many ways. As a melee weapon, a short-range weapon if thrown, and just as a tool to turn bolt cranks or move platforms to solve puzzles. But we all mostly use it to smash crates. This item comes in handy when you run out of ammo and you still need to beat down your foes. The Omni Wrench has been with us players ever since we started our first adventure with Ratchet in the original game back in 2002. It's been there for every wave of enemy fire, through every boss fight, and it's probably the most reliable weapon in Ratchet's arsenal. That is why the Omni Wrench is number 5 on my list.
Number 4.
One of the new guns introduced in this year's Ratchet and Clank for the PlayStation 4. This gun, like the name suggests, turns your enemies into pixels, and it is awesome. The gun is really just a shotgun type, like we've seen in past games, but this one is much cooler. It's so fun blasting your enemies and seeing them turn into pixels. The sounds that the gun makes when you're shooting sounds just like old 8-bit games from yesteryear. This weapon is one of my favorite parts of the newest Ratchet and Clank installment, and I hope to see this gun return in any future games. The pure joy I get from seeing enemies and NPCs alike turn into pixels right before my eyes is the reason the Pixelizer is number 4 on my list.
Number 3.
Sheepinator, one of my personal favorites.
Oh, the Sheepinator, one of Ratchet and Clank's strangest weapons. This gun shows up in a bunch of games in some form or another. For example, in Up Your Arsenal, it's the Quacko Ray, which turns your enemies into ducks. In Tools of Destruction, it's the Transmorpher, which morphs foes into penguins. A Crack in Time gave us the Chimpomatic, and you guessed it, monkeys. And my last example is the Winterizer from Into the Nexus, which is a little different as it turns enemies into snowmen and plays a Christmas jingle while doing so. But whatever form it takes, the Sheepinator is always fun to use. There's just something so enjoyable about turning your fearsome foes into harmless, cute, and cuddly critters. This gun is one I always look forward to in every game, and that is why the Sheepinator is number 3 on my list.
Number 2.
First introduced in Tools of Destruction and featured in nearly every installment since, Mr. Zerkin is an AI robot companion who cracks wise as he helps you kill enemies.
Mr. Zerkin is here to kill you!
Mr. Zerkin comes in handy when you need extra firepower during a tough boss fight or in the middle of a huge firefight with hordes of enemies. Mr. Zerkin is a funny and helpful weapon to use in any situation and has become a staple in the franchise, and that is why Mr. Zerkin is number 2 on my list.
Number 1.
The Rhino, also known as Rip You a New One. It's like the ultimate weapon for Kingdom Hearts, tough and tedious to get, but is always worth it. The Rhino is in almost every game and is essentially a machine gun rocket launcher and deals a bunch of damage. I love using this gun in challenge mode because I get to plow through my foes like they're made of cardboard. I love using the Rhino during boss fights because I can watch their health bar fall like a stone. I also love how, in later games, this gun plays classical music while in use. I love using the Rhino because it makes me feel unstoppable and it can defeat anyone with ease. And that is why the Rhino gets the top spot on my list of my top 5 favorite Ratchet and Clank weapons. So those were my favorite Ratchet and Clank weapons, but there's so many more weapons in the series. There's 14 games in the series, so there's at least 100 weapons to choose from, and it was kind of hard to narrow it down to 5, but I managed to do so. So let me know what are your favorite weapons, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.